Welcome to the Alphabet Zoup podcast.
Here we don't just spill the tea.
Ano ba yan?
Oh my god!
Maybe somebody should switch with me.
No,
Wait,
I can't.
let's power through. Okay, from the top.
Okay, sorry.
Power through.
Sorry.
Power through.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Welcome to the Alphabet Zoup podcast.
Here we don't just spill the tea.
We slurp the soup.
Okay?
Okay na yun! Let's go!
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Intro music. Hi, hello. Forgive us for the corny intro. We'll get better in the following episodes. I hope. Okay, but anyway, a wonderful day to all of you. And welcome to the Alphabet Zoup.
The podcast that serves you the hottest menus about the LGBTQ community that will leave imprints not only on your mind and hearts, but also in your mouth.
Because our podcast will make you want to speak up for our brothers and sisters in the LGBTQ plus community.
And with that, we bring you our pilot episode, the start of a new beginning.
But before anything else, we just want to clarify that we're here to help educate our fellow Gen Z about the said community, their culture, and their experiences by delivering their stories through this platform in the following episodes.
And hopefully, we'll be able to inspire all of you to speak up for yourselves or others as well.
Okay, so
Wait. Let's introduce ourselves first so that our listeners know who they're listening to.
Okay, I'll go first. I'm Cole, or I also go by Chloe. Sometimes depends, and that's because I identify as gender fluid as well as I also identify as gay. But yeah. And so my pronouns are both he, him, and she, her pronouns. I go by both. And like the general identity of being gender fluid, yeah. Wait, should I tell my story? Oh wait, no.
Yeah,
Yeah, why
tell it.
not?
It's nice.
Yeah.
Tell us. And
Okay.
also explain gender fluidity or fluid.
Yeah,
gender
okay.
fluid. Yeah.
Like my definition of gender fluidity as my identity, because I see gender as not being like a man or a woman. I see gender as like being masculine and being feminine. And so some days I identify as more masculine and some days I identify as more feminine. And that fluidity of my that's in my day-to-day life is how I see myself as being gender fluid, which is how I also see like gender fluidity in general. Like, but either way, I don't mind if like however I'm feeling that day, like even if I'm more feminine or I'm more masculine, I don't usually mind like what pronouns that are used in like being referred to me. Like I don't care if you're using he, she, or him, her. Either way, I don't care. I don't mind. But I like there's also the thing with me having like a second more feminine name, and that yun yung may story na,
Okay,
which is
go.
that yeah. Now, one time during my field trip in grade 8, we were having a roll call. And yung roll call, yung gumagawa ng roll call, hindi siya parang personal ng school, so hindi niya kami kilala. So we were made to write on this form ng pangalan namin. So I wrote mine, then passed it around, blah blah blah. When it came time for the actual roll call,
Oh no.
isa nang tinawag. Tapos, when it came to my name, instead of saying Cole, because of how poorly I wrote my name, the guy read it as Chloe. So, and ever since that day, yung teacher na kasama namin nun, kasi that got like such a reaction from the class because he's a boy that was called a girl name, huh? But like, you know, I took
So
it inside.
funny.
Yeah, so funny. Haha, that's not right. but yeah, yun, ever since that day, like that teacher started calling me Chloe, and like parang in jest lang naman. Like every time he calls me in class, like Chloe, patulong ako dito. It's like ako naman parang nakikitawa lang ako. But like the name, even though like it was made in jest, it started to feel right for me. Like it just like it felt right being like being called like a feminine name. It's stuck. So that became like one of the names that I identified with. Like, besides my given name. But I won't necessarily like there's this whole other concept of dead naming that we're gonna tackle once we get to that part of the podcast. But
Okay.
that's in the nearby future.
Episode
Okay.
ano? Episode 4?
Nearby. Episode
Yeah,
4.
probably. Okay.
It's like one of
But
our
wait.
last episodes.
China.
Nearby.
Let's move on. Okay. Yeah, let's move on. Okay. I think it's time for Bernice to introduce herself.
Yeah, go.
Okay, me. Okay, so
Mhm.
my name's Bernice. I'm 17, and I identify as a cishet. Don't worry, I will do my best to be tolerable here in this podcast. And for pronouns,
Tolerable.
I am a she, her. And my knowledge on the LGBTQ community is honestly not that much compared to the other two hosts, because of course I'm not part of the community, but I'll be here for the ones who aren't a part of the community as well, like the listeners who are still new to the community or they just want to learn about it. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
You can learn with me.
Bernice will be with you like along that journey because she's pretty much just as new as everybody who's listening here who are unfamiliar with the community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys can learn together.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's be
Yay.
friends.
Wholesome.
Later we'll talk about yung but yeah, later we'll talk about yung sinabi ni Bernice as like being cisgendered, cishet, which is short for cisgendered heterosexual.
Yeah.
We'll get to that a little
Yes.
later. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
in short, basically it's like being straight and
Mhm.
how do you say it? Following the gender that was assigned to you at birth, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
Come on.
Let's go. Okay.
Hello.
Up next, Chris.
Yeah. So my name is Chris. Thus, I'm 17 and I identify as aromantic asexual. Yay!
Yeah.
So, a little bit of a background. So when I was a kid, I always felt like I was weird. What? Queer, yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, queer. Yeah, but like in more ways than just sexuality, probably, but like including it also. Okay? So when people when people do that thing when they ship you with someone and they're like, yay, I'm just like always, shut up.
Oh, so you're like the classmate, you're like that classmate that has no crush.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's like, no, everyone has a crush, but you're just like, nah,
Yeah, that's so annoying.
not for me. Oh, I see.
I don't know why, but yeah. I don't know why. No offense, but like I'm absolutely disgusted by the thought of me being with a person.
Absolutely
I'm
appalled.
I'm sorry.
He hates it.
Appalled.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I just want to say that not all asexual people are like me, like super against. No, some people are like, yeah, okay, but yeah, I'm not like that.
Yeah, speaking of I just remembered, like, speaking of not all, like, like when you said you were like appalled by like the idea of being like that. There's this one. You know, like Emma Langvin, I think was her name. The e-girl, like the Jersey e-girl, where she has like an basically. Yeah, she was like she went viral I think a few months ago. And then like I went to her YouTube and she's an asexual lesbian. Basically she's which is also one of the topics that we're gonna get into like maybe later. Like the separation of like romantic and sexual orientation. Because those are two different things that are very much possible.
I think we're going to tackle this later, like because we're going to discuss like the misconceptions of the LGBTQ community.
Yeah,
so, later this episode. Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say my age, but yeah, I'm 17. Just for the record.
Nice insert. Oh, I'm late, but nice insert.
Okay. I'm dying. No.
Say no to COVID.
Dude.
Okay. Now to get to like for you to get like what you came here for, what you came for to like listening to our podcast, like at least this pilot episode, we're gonna like try to define generally what is generally understood to be like the definition of the LGBTQ plus acronym because there's a lot of things there. Like kaya may plus eh. That's why the plus is there. And like, actually, share ka lang, kinabisado ko one time yung definition ng like nung plus. So like, if I remember correctly, it's LGBTQQIAAP. It's starting with
Wow.
the T, like it's transgender / transsexual, queer, questioning, then arrow A's, and tapos the other A is like ally, which is another topic that we're gonna get into.
Yes.
Like
Ally.
the
There's
other
so
A,
much topics to
the
unpack
A
here.
versus A, yeah, the A versus A debacle, and then the P, which is pansexual. Again, we're like that's a bit later, but yeah, first we're gonna start with L. Who's gonna talk about L?
Bata pick. 1, 2. Ay, maiba
Oh wait,
taya.
we should
1, 2.
Wait,
What?
I'm not
we
cultured.
should like assign.
Why?
What? Assign na lang.
Okay, fine. Bernice, you wanna take this or bisexual?
I'll take
Wait.
So
bi.
I know Cole wants to get gay. Mention ba natin yung source?
Oh yeah, we actually did our research about this guy, so we're really
Yeah.
reliable. Wink, wink. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. So we'll say the source, our source. But
Sige.
like, sasabihin din natin na of course, sexuality is parang there's this notion na that sexuality is fluid. I mean, and so yeah, everything must be taken with a grain of salt.
Yes.
Especially since coming from us, we're 17. We're not academic professionals on the subject. But yeah, okay. So who's gonna take L? Who's gonna take the L?
Me.
Chris is gonna take the L.
What? The what? Okay. Wait, so all these definitions are from the LGBTQIA Resource Center glossary from the Regents of the University of California, Davis campus. Yeah, we recognize that sexuality is really complicated. Like it's a complicated matter. So for the sake of like clarity, we're just gonna use this glossary so that everything is clear for you guys. Yeah.
Yeah. But of course, we're gonna add our own sprinkle of opinion.
Sprinkle of opinion.
Sprinkle.
Like,
Yeah.
oh wait,
So,
to get
just a
into like the
little-
soup
a
theme
little
of
bit.
everything, like maybe like some
Seasoning.
seasoning of
Yeah.
opinion, like a little bit of parsley opinion.
Parsley.
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 Decoration lang.
Mhm.
Parsley is actually good for your breath.
Really?
Yeah, it's good for like fresh breath.
I don't
It's
like
too right,
taste.
mint. Syempre.
Yeah, mint.
Okay,
No,
wait,
no,
go. Continue.
Yeah.
Okay, so a lesbian is usually a woman whose primary sexual and affectional orientation is towards women. However, some non-binary people also identify as lesbians, often because they have some connection to womanhood and are primarily attracted to women. So there's this term called sapphic. And we just want to clarify that sapphic means just attraction to women. So that includes lesbians, bisexuals, pansexuals, non-binaries attracted to females. Yeah, it's really complicated talaga. So
Just having the hots for the women.
yes, in
Women.
Twitter language,
If you're a woman,
Yeah.
having the hots for
Yeah.
another woman. Like that.
that's sapphic. So it's not just exclusive to lesbian.
Yeah, and like, yeah. Okay, well, moving on to the G, the one that most people are familiar with. It's gay. And like, gay is usually referred to, like, it's an umbrella term for like same-sex attraction in general. So like, it can apply to both male and females and like every other thing in between. Like, just having like same-sex attraction. Like, but like, you know, attraction, or in other words, attraction to the people with the same gender. So it can, yeah, it can be applied to lesbians and like to like males. But you know, it's generally like when you say someone is gay, it's generally like a guy, because like that's the general notion of being gay, where it's like a guy attracted to another guy. Yeah, which is just, that's just, gay has a like there's a lot of things to unpack with the like with the, like, just specifically the gay
So hard to
community.
explain.
It's okay, guys. Don't worry. We're going to
Yeah.
unpack each and every one of these in our future
Like
episodes. Like, we'll focus on
yeah,
them
like
each episode. Yeah.
Yeah, one by
yeah,
one.
like stuff like, you know, internal homophobia, and there's like, and like generally racism. Yeah, even in the Philippines there's
Yeah.
racism, like in like just within the gay community. Like it's not as defined as, you know, like racism, for example, in more diverse countries unlike us. But like here there's this, either fetishization of like certain, you know, certain groups of people that are foreign, or like actual like avoidance of people who are, you know, native to the Philippines, etc., etc. And there's also like the, like, you know, the entire mask for mask thing. But yeah, that's another thing to
Yeah.
unpack. Okay,
Okay.
moving
A
on to the
lot.
bi.
Okay, moving on
Yeah.
to bisexuals. In other words, a bi is a person whose primary sexual and affectional orientation is toward people of the same and other genders, or towards people regardless of their gender. And
Actually,
sometimes
ano yan?
people
Yeah,
may
yeah,
use,
usually,
yes.
yeah, yun lang.
Okay, okay.
Kasi, there's this clarification within the bi community na, ano, na, what do you call this, na kailangan, like, just the definition of being bi, it's not just male and female, like, being attracted to both male and female. It's like, the definition of bi is being attracted to two genders, and that's it. Like, pwede kasi siyang male and non-binary people, or male and one and another thing, not, you know, just male and female, because there's, again, gender is a spectrum. So yeah,
Yeah.
kaya na rin merong mga terms na parang pansexual, omnisexual, blah blah blah, just, you know, to be more all-encompassing.
Okay.
Can we like define bis and pans?
Yeah,
Like how
like
they're
what's the
different?
difference between bis and
Like I said earlier, bi means two. That's pretty easy. And pan means all. I don't
okay.
know why people can't understand it.
Actually,
Just
ano,
kidding, just
wait,
kidding. I won't say that.
meron
Cut
actually
that out.
thing na, actually, there's another thing called omnisexual, which is being attracted to all genders.
Yeah.
And that's the distinction between pan and omni. Because pan, like, its definition is being attracted regardless of gender. And like the omnisexual is being attracted to all genders. So basically, yung omni, it's
Yeah.
still considering the gender of the person. But they're attracted to all genders. But pan is like, you're just looking at like who the person is, and like blah
Like the
blah blah,
gender
and
doesn't
that's it.
matter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh,
So
so
yeah, there's still that distinction between pan, bi, and omnisexual. But I don't think like omnisexual is that used that much yet.
Yeah, it's
But
not
it's
very
something
popular.
that I came across just like a few months ago. But I continue.
yeah,
Okay.
transgender.
Transgender. There's transgender and there's cisgender. Now, these two concepts are kind of like interrelated. Wow, interrelated.
Whoa.
Fancy. Okay. So now, cisgender is identifying as the gender that you were born as. So like, if you're if you were born male and you identify as a man, you're cis, or like cisgender, otherwise like shortened as cis, and cis. Okay. And then there's trans, which is like identifying as another gender, like a gender besides the gender you were assigned as. So like, when you're born male but you identify as a woman, then that's being trans. That's being a trans woman. Again, there's this thing now, people are confusing it a lot now. There's this being, when you're born a male but you identify as a woman, you're a trans woman. That's a
Yeah.
lot of people get confused by that kasi.
I was confused in that day. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, but
honestly, me
it's
too.
kind of yeah,
How
it's kind of
confused?
confusing, but we can define.
What are you confused by?
Like what do you mean by you were confused with it?
Like, oh, I was
It's
confused to it kasi like it's confusing na how will you call this person? How will you refer to this person who is trans? But like kasi like yung logistics pa dati hindi I'm not like of course dati I was just as an ignorant little babe. And so
safe.
wala pa rin ako mismo
A
wala
little
din
babe.
akong wala din akong
I
wala
was
din ako
not, but
masyadong
a
alam.
small. Okay.
Yeah, wala din ako masyadong alam at first. And then, like, I really just delved into the community once na realize ko na, oh my God, I'm part of this amazing group of people. Tapos yun, I tried to
Yeah.
learn as much as I could. And that's when I really learned about the community itself.
Okay, I see.
This
Mhm.
personally iba. I was really confused on whether a trans woman was a woman or a man. Like right now, are they like a woman or a man right now? Like what do they identify as?
Like,
Parang
there's
na confused lang ako dati. Pero ngayon I know na kapag trans woman, then they are a woman now. But
they
like
were born male. Like
they
the
were
proper
born
like
male.
yeah, they were born
Yeah.
male. And
I
then like
want to
again
say
vice versa.
something.
Okay,
Go
what
go
is
go
it,
go.
Bernice?
Okay, so, I also was confused with this before because I thought transgender is like you become like for example a guy that wants to become I thought it was like a guy that wants to become a woman, like they don't identify as a woman already. Like I thought they'll only become a trans woman if they make the change already. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Oh, there's this like in the trans community like a lot of issues and like, a lot of like know-hows, and then there's this thing like pre-hormone and like post-hormone and like pre-surgery and post-surgery, so you
Mm-hmm.
top and bottom surgery, blah blah blah, because like being trans, it's one of the hardest identities to like it's one of like trans people are one of the people who suffer the most in
Yeah.
the community,
Honestly.
because like being a lesbian or being gay, you don't have to like go all the things that being trans you have to go to. Like again, like I said, there's hormones, there's surgery, like and hormones, like it's one of the hardest. Like I only know because like I've researched like a lot of stuff about like the community, like I said, and like I learned all this stuff because like at some point like I thought maybe I was like myself, but then like I realized that's when I realized like gender fluidity is a thing where I don't
Mm-hmm.
have to go through all these things, but like there are still some people who have to like who chose to do all these things so that they can feel, so that they feel right in their own bodies. Because most of us, we don't have to like deal with that, but they do. Like there's this like there's this the process of being trans is like such a hassle. Like I heard
Yeah,
this
I
one
agree.
story of this like apparently like for you to be able to even start hormone therapy, like injecting yourself with like testosterone or estrogen, you have to be written off by a therapist first, and first you have to like go
Oh
through like
yeah.
extensive, like procedures to like determine whether you do have gender dysmorphia. Just just so you can just so you can start hormone therapy. And then again
And
there's a top and bottom surgery, which is super expensive.
yeah, and
It's
even
a
like
whole thing.
yeah, even therapy and like getting checked is expensive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
Just
like
is.
that alone.
oh my
So like
god.
imagine like yeah, that's why I really feel for our trans brothers and sisters who are who go through what they're going through.
So
And
much.
yes, they
Yeah.
go through so much. Like but they still persevere. Like we have a lot of like at least now there's a lot of like people like I idolize their chance. Like again, Shay Diamond. There's Laverne Cox. Such a queen, Laverne Cox. There's
Too many
yeah,
too.
there's Angelica Ross. MJ Rodriguez. Wait, yeah, MJ Rodriguez, and India Farah. They're amazing, but like that's that's why like seeing them as like people who are successful, it really like
Nice.
it feels really good to me because like
Yeah.
even after going through all that they've gone through, like the discrimination, we haven't even talked about the discrimination, and like what they had to deal with just to be the person that they are now. It's super inspiring.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's true.
yeah, we've
Oh,
dwelled too much on the tea.
oh, we also have we have to talk about the queers. Chris, would you like to take this?
Oh wait, but Cole, would you like to take this again? I say
Okay.
queer.
Oh
Didn't you
yeah.
identify
I'm
as queer?
sorry, but like,
Okay. It's fine. It's
yeah,
fine. But yeah. Okay.
no, I don't identify as queer. I just
Yeah.
said queer like as abnormal or strange.
Yeah. Like
Oh, okay,
because
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, yeah. That's the definition of queer. Then kasi like the definition of queer. It's like it's just an umbrella term now that like about queer is like anything that is not either cisgendered or heterosexual. So like a lot of identities can be considered queer, and especially like there's this whole concept like of like being being queer where like if you're you're a trans man in a relationship with a trans woman, like they don't like identify already as as like straight, because like even if they're attracted to the opposite gender, like a trans man and a
They're
trans woman,
still
they're all,
trans,
yeah.
no? There's still
And
the
so like
experience of
there's yeah,
discrimination. Basically,
yeah, there's
anyone who experiences the discrimination for like gender expression,
yeah,
whatever,
Or
I
sexuality.
think
they
they can
yeah,
identify as queer.
yeah,
Hmm.
the queer thing is like it's just an umbrella, really an umbrella term now for
So,
like anything not straight, which
so
is
would you identify yourself as queer?
yeah,
Cole?
like
Uh,
one of the under queer, there's gender fluid, yeah, because gender fluid isn't straight at all, like it's not.
Yeah, it's
And it's
not.
also not cisgender because so yeah, I identify as queer. Like basically anybody in the LGBTQ community
mm-mm.
is like predisposed to be queer
Yeah, I just don't
because
use the term, but like
yeah.
basically
Mm,
everyone is.
But yeah,
okay.
uh so like to our listeners in the future, like there might be a cut
Future.
from like the past audio clip from here, but it's because like we have to stop recording for a bit. The one who
Because
was recording the
unstable
audio,
Wi-Fi.
Yun
yeah,
ang
had
sabihin.
unstable
Yun
Wi-Fi.
ang sabihin.
Okay, where were we? Ano yung huli mo narinig, Bernice?
Let me. You were just saying how you would identify yourself as queer because it's a really umbrella term.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, and like it's also used a lot by people who who can't pinpoint exactly what their sexuality is. Maybe they just don't know yet, but inherently they know that they're not straight, so they just
Oh,
use
wait.
queer. Yeah.
This I have a question already.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
What's the difference between queer, since you're saying like sometimes they're just not sure yet?
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference with queer and like questioning?
Questioning is kind of okay. This is gonna sound weird, but
Nice.
like questioning is more like from like the research that I've done, like for myself back then. It's more of like the phase where the phase. That's such a familiar
Oh,
word. It's a
Don't say
phase.
oh,
that.
But yeah,
No.
yeah. But yeah,
trigger word.
but like, questioning is more of like the phase where like people in the LGBTQ go through when, yeah, especially they're unsure. But again, yeah, queer is like, and it's just an
Like an
umbrella term for
umbrella term.
everything na. So that also under queer is questioning. Because if you're not,
Oh,
like, but like some people like question themselves, like maybe like maybe I'm bi, maybe I'm not just straight, but then later out they just find out they're just actually straight or something. Then
mm-hmm.
they still went through the questioning phase, but they're also not necessarily queer because they're still they're still cishet. or heterosexual.
Okay.
But they
Okay.
still went through that questioning phase. And even though they
Or
did that, they can still be allies to the community. Yeah, it's the questioning is kind of like a phase. Oh my god, that sounds
Yeah,
so
like you're
weird.
just questioning.
Yeah, it is. It's a verb. You're
Yeah, I think
wait.
it's something like everyone has to go through, like when they,
Yeah,
especially when they're
usually.
like
I
growing
think
up.
so too.
Yeah.
Wait. Funny thing actually about me.
Share.
Yeah,
Go,
like
go, go.
how I found out I was gay. I
Oh,
didn't
Okay.
see.
question it at all. Like I just like something immediately clicked.
Just new.
Yeah, like I know the general what like the general notion of being gay is. Like I'm aware of that, but I never thought like, oh maybe that's me. No, I never thought of that. Like, but then like I just saw a picture of two guys kissing, and like something inside me like clicked, and immediately, oh, this is what I want. Like this is what I want in life.
Mm.
And then like
Ah.
that's when I realized, oh, I'm gay. And then I
That
never
sounds so
questioned it
wholesome.
again. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so awesome.
Mm.
But like I know
Oh
exactly where I
yeah.
was when I found out. I was sitting on the toilet and I was just scrolling through my iPad. And then like, oh, that's neat.
Really?
Yeah. But then like
That's so
I,
cool. So
yeah.
cool.
But like I know of what gay people go through, like the bullying, the discrimination. So like I didn't come out immediately because but like it wasn't that I was uncomfortable being gay. It was more like I'm uncomfortable with people knowing that I am. Because
Okay, I
I'm
get.
Oh
afraid.
yeah.
I'm still afraid of how they'll treat me. But
Oh,
yeah,
that's because, like, especially in the Philippines, there are a lot of
yeah.
like Christian schools that are like, homophobic and all that
No.
stuff.
Oh,
So it's
speaking of
especially hard for us to come out.
yeah, speaking of just a little sidebar. If you saw that recent article, one school that went viral for being for like making being in a same sex relationship, like being homosexual, as something that was like grounds for expulsion, which is
What?
shocking, right? Seeing that, that would be extremely shocking.
Like
I
recent.
know.
Yeah, there was like this whole
What the
it
heck?
went viral. Didn't you guys not see it?
Mm-mm.
I live under a rock.
But yeah, but when I saw that, like a lot of people were like most people would be shocked at first, right? Seeing that, like, oh my god, schools can actually do that. But unang reaction ko is like, huh, okay, sounds familiar. Kasi, alam niyo ba kung bakit?
School niyo din.
Yeah, I know. I
Dati kong
know.
school,
Sabi ka na.
exactly like that.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's why I thought it was your old school.
Yeah, no. Yung
Oh.
naging viral na school, hindi yung school namin dati.
Diba?
But then,
Oh, that's a problem.
yung school ko dati, also again won't say names.
Bawal.
But like that old school of mine that I went through like starting from grade 8 to grade 10, like we had our handbook, and I was like a thing that usually like I do in our even like in the schools that I've been to, like the two schools that I've been to, what I always like to do is look through the offenses. It's like a weird thing, and I just look at it and like, if I do this, I can get expelled. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's just something that I did, and I did it once when I got to my old school. And what I immediately saw when I went through like there's like 5 categories of it. Like of course, one being like the simple ones like loitering and not speaking in English, blah blah blah. And then there's the category 5 like bringing porn to school or like gambling paraphernalia. So like one you can just like get like like verbal warning and stuff. But then category 5 is like can get you expelled. And you know where it is? You know what I found under category 5, number 10?
I
Yes,
think
I
I know.
memorized the number and I can quote it. Like I used to know it from the top of my head. But like
Go.
and it was there for like okay, here's the quote.
This is gonna be bad.
Verbatim.
Category 5, number 10. Immorality. Immorality. It says immorality. Immorality, but not limited to having intimate relationship with the same sex, pregnancy without marriage, and living in without marriage. So basically,
What?
being gay is, as worse as what are the other things that can get you expelled? Being
Murder.
high in school.
Uh,
That's
yeah.
as bad as being gay in this school. Like both can
What?
get you expelled.
Wait, so this is the very last category?
Yeah, this is the worst of the
So,
offense.
The
so like,
worst
if
of
you
the
kill
worst.
someone, that's the same punishment you get?
I mean, of course, because that's like way over here already. But considering like a school setting, like
Yeah.
like what are like possessing like firearms, deadly weapons, explosives, blah blah blah. That's just bad. Like that can get you expelled, but so can being gay. That's basically my old school. And like
Oh my
I
god.
was openly gay in my old school. Like even like the higher ups knew.
What?
Yeah. But like
Did they do anything?
they didn't because they didn't care like back then. Like they don't
Probably
care
because
about
the
like
rule says that.
yeah, but like because they're
that
like relatively lax. Like at least like the staff were. Like most of the staff were.
what if
But
you were in a relationship though?
they'd probably do something about it, but I wasn't.
Yeah, I think that's what they
Oh,
want to
don't
prevent.
cry.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
okay.
In this case, I guess being single that time was good, so you wouldn't get expelled.
But yeah, like
Yeah.
but yeah, the thing is like this is like the worst of the worst, right? But the thing is there's
Yeah.
another passage in the handbook specifying boy-girl relationships. It actually says boy-girl relationships. And under there they say they encourage it, but of course, they don't allow PDA, which is it's hypocritical
Censor.
as
Slap you.
it's hypocritical as
I'll slap. Yeah.
which
I'll slap anyone who curses on this podcast.
okay. This is just what angered me so much about it. Like having this as like something that can get you expelled. Well, two other people are doing the same thing. That's the only difference between like the pair of the two of you is that, like they're boy and a girl and we're a boy and a boy. When we can get expelled for it, but they can't. Which is what
Yeah,
pissed
and
me off so much about
It's
it.
encouraged.
yeah, and
Mm.
like it's encouraged, diba?
Yeah, like they say like, oh,
Mm-mm.
Like what Chris
it's
said.
fine. Like parang they phrase it like it's fine. We actually encourage it, but bawat PDA. That's kind of like how they phrased it. Which is, kaya, that's why it just angered me so much. And every year that I was in that school, I complained about it to at least 3 teachers at some point. But of course, they never did
stand.
anything about it because that quote that I said was from the grade 11 handbook that my friend had last year. So they still haven't done anything about it.
Well,
So yeah.
honestly, I think school should be more open to it because it's like they're putting discrimination in an environment where kids are like growing up and still learning what they like and dislike.
Yeah, they should be more like they shouldn't care at all about relationships like between their students,
because
right?
it's not their business.
Yeah, like especially
All they have
romantic
to do is-
ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like education. That's all.
and like
It's romantic.
they should like like we've all gone through like some semblance of sex ed when we discussed like the reproductive system in grade 5 or something.
Okay.
That's pretty much our sex ed. But we should actually have proper sex education. Like not just like how the reproductive system works. We should have like how actual
Yeah,
intercourse works and what should be safe. Like
Yeah, they should.
protection, birth control, etc. We should discuss that
You know
in
what?
schools.
I think that's how you. Yeah, I think that's how you prevent teenage pregnancy. Not
Exactly, but like
banning relationships.
Yeah.
their argument is like teaching schools about sex is just gonna make
Well,
them
yeah.
curious and they're just gonna do it.
No.
But at least when they do it, they'll
It's
know
still
what's safe.
Yeah,
Diba?
and if you teach
Yeah,
them about
exactly,
it, they won't be so
exactly.
curious about it because they already know.
Yeah. And especially
It's
when you're
not
in your
some.
yeah. Like especially when you're in your teens, you're gonna be curious about it because hormones are gonna be flying everywhere. Yeah. This
Yeah.
has gone off the rails. I don't know if we can put any of this.
Okay.
So like
No.
we're not gonna stray that far.
Oh wait, no.
Okay.
Wait, something to relate it to
Unless you guys
LGBT.
wanna-
Like besides
What?
like teaching like heterosexual sex ed, they should also teach about like how it would work between two guys and two girls because it's at some point it's like they're gonna be curious
I would
about that
skip
as
that
well.
class.
Like
Yeah.
But yeah. I think they should.
people need to know that having sex is like kids need to know that having sex is okay as long as it's safe. as long as it's another thing, consent. Again, that should
Consensual.
also be taught.
Yes.
And like, it's another thing that should also be taught is that it's possible with not just with the opposite sex but with the same sex, and they need to understand that they don't have to like do a demo in front of the whole class or something like that. They just need to understand that that thing is possible, and if that's what they feel like, that's what they resonate with, as a person themselves, they do it like later in life when they're ready for it.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be like. Oh, but
Mhm.
okay, let's bring this conversation
Yeah.
back on track. Okay, so now let's discuss the meaning of the plus in the
Yeah.
LGBTQ.
The plus.
The plus is like I said before, it's like an all-encompassing like part of the acronym because it like details like a lot of different things. Like
Yes.
the asexual, aromantic, the gender, like again, like a lot of things. But
Let's just discuss some of them.
yeah, let's discuss some of them, like the intersex. It's like being intersex, it's like more on the biology side of things because we have like a preconceived notion of what the male body and what the female body is. And like basically intersex is, somebody with both male and female sex characteristics. Now, yung yung intersex kasi it's usually associated with the word hermaphrodite. And like there's an article from the Intersex Society of North America website na it says na hermaphrodite is different from intersex because yung ibig sabihin ng hermaphrodite is that you have both male and female, like fully functioning, like fully female and fully male na like reproductive systems, like, and it's sinabi pa nga nila it's a mythological term kasi nga daw it's according to them again it's a physiologic impossibility.
Okay. I'm just
Okay.
I mean,
Like why?
but it might be possible like someone might be born with
Really?
both of them.
Yeah,
right?
it is. Yun nga yung intersex. But like fully functioning male, both male and female, sex characteristics.
Oh,
Yun yung
okay.
hindi daw talaga pwede, according to them.
Gets.
Okay. So moving on to the next one is
I
to
think that's-
asexual.
Oh, I'll take this.
Or
Yeah.
aromantic. Yeah.
So, being an asexual or an aromantic, it's a really broad spectrum of sexual orientations, generally characterized by feeling varying degrees of sexual attraction or desires for partnered sexuality. So basically, like I said earlier, being asexual is a spectrum. There's people like me who like absolutely abhor the idea, and then there's some people who just like tolerate it and feel kind of
So just like
okay, yeah, like that.
yeah. Mhm.
So there's this separation kasi between sexual and romantic attraction kasi. So, sexual is physical, thus romantic is emotional. So, okay, that's self-explanatory. I don't have to explain that.
Share ko lang, I also have a source on that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Cool, take
From my also galing din dun sa informative speech ko. Asan na
Oh
ba
wow,
yun?
you use a lot of sources. But yeah, that's basically the main difference between the sexual and romantic, diba, attraction.
Mhm. Yun nga na.
romantic. Wait. So for demisexual, they're part of the asexual spectrum because they can't really feel that feeling when you see a person and you're just like attracted to them. They can't feel that. What they feel is when most of the time when they're friends with someone, that's when they have the attraction. It's not just like they can't feel it towards strangers. It just comes when they actually have an emotional connection to people.
Yeah.
So I actually have a question for you guys. So when you see a person that you're attracted to, do you just like think, wow, they're pretty I can't say the word.
Hot?
Like yeah. Do you just see a person and you're just like, wow, they're hot? Is
Yeah.
that a thing?
Yeah. Oh my
Well,
god, yeah.
actually, for me,
Yeah?
I'm just like when I see people and I just appreciate that they look good. I'm like,
I mean,
okay, they're decent.
yeah, may
Like,
ganon
yeah,
din
yeah,
naman.
but that's it.
Like,
But
yeah,
that's it.
like for me, ganon, and that's how I am with girls. I see a girl like, oh my god,
Yeah.
she's so pretty. Like we have a lot of very very pretty friends. Like ayan
Mm.
si Gian, no? Yeah, she's very
Yeah.
pretty.
Yeah, I can see a
Diba?
picture.
Diba, Gian?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, yeah,
It's
like
okay.
that's but like it's different when I see like a very like conventionally attractive guy. Like he's hot. Like
Yeah, no.
there's
Even I can like see a person and like think they seem like they're really attractive. Like for example, Harry Styles. Like when I see that face, like yeah, I can say that he
Yeah,
is a
yeah,
yeah. Like I don't feel any other feeling besides that.
yeah,
yeah.
same.
But like again, yeah, there's still like na people na you see like, oh, okay. Like if the chance, like if the opportunity presents itself, like I would, have relations with this. That sounds so. I would have relations with this because because we can't say the S word like when referring to ourselves because
Yeah.
we're minors. So
It's okay. It's okay. Relations is okay.
yeah, like like you can see one person like okay, like he's definitely I would have
Mm,
certain relations
Relation.
with this like quote unquote relations with this person, like if the opportunity
Oh.
presents itself, and of course like yeah, again, consent.
okay.
So yeah,
For me, I'm
like
kind of like leaning, like even if I'm like a cishet, like I'm leaning towards like
Yeah.
Chris's thing. Like I just appreciate
Come
it,
to
but
the
I
dark
don't
side. Joke lang.
dark side no.
Dark side.
But it's not. It's like if I get the
this
opportunity, it's like
podcast will be renamed as Bernice's conversion.
no. I mean, now I'm in the questioning phase.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to. Did we
Gender
discuss
fluid.
gender fluid? Already,
Mhm.
we already did.
Yeah, we
Right?
already
Gender
tackled it naman. So yun nga, again, just a quick review. Gender fluid is like having days where you like identify more as feminine or like more as like a woman, and then having days where you also like identify more as a man or a male or more masculine. That's like the general gist of being gender fluid.
Mm.
But of course,
Okay.
it's not like every day like, oh, wake up, oh, I'm a boy today. No, it's not like that. Of course, you just kind of like like you just kind of feel it in the way that you like you just kind of feel it like it's not like a day-to-day thing. Like sometimes like early in the day I could be more masculine, or like later in the day I could be more feminine. It's
Mm.
just like
It's the
it's
depends on your
fluid.
mood.
It's from yeah, it's like that.
All right. Now let's move on to cishet. Let's dive deeper into cishets. So
No,
first
let's
of
not.
all,
Char.
Oh.
no, wait, no. Let's not actually
Go
dive into
Bernice.
cishets because like everyone knows already. They're
Yeah,
just like
like again,
heterosexuals
like quick
that like
rundown lang ulit.
Okay. So for cishets, like we
Yeah.
all know because there's a lot of people like that. They're heterosexual and they identify with the gender they were assigned to at birth. And then the thing is, cishets can also be allies of the LGBTQ community. These allies are the people that support the community and they just respect them. And they also advocate for their equal rights and all that. So, my question for you guys is what makes a good ally?
Oh,
Oh,
Hmm.
nice.
like
So you have a lot of opinions to answer this.
yeah,
Yeah,
of
you have
course,
a lot of opinions.
of
I have a
course,
question too later, but
yeah,
yeah, go.
yeah, like
So,
as part of the community, what I want to see from an ally is like again, like fight for like help us fight for our rights, like. And
mm,
of course, like just how like that's it. Like if you want to be our ally, like fight, like help us fight for our rights. For marriage equality, gender equality. That's everything. Help us fight for the things that we're fighting for. Because
mm-mm.
like you generally just respecting us as people, like that's not enough, because even if you personally, just you respect us as people, some of us
Tolerate.
like, yeah, that's just
Yeah,
tolerance.
that's like tolerance.
Yeah, it's like help us fight to be on the same level as you. Like in most countries, like it's still illegal for like someone like me to be married to somebody I love, which
Mm.
sucks, honestly. That's why I'm moving to Amsterdam. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, and like again, there's this whole thing where you can get expelled for being gay in a school, and it's such a whole thing. But basically, just what I expect from an ally is help us fight to have the same rights that you do.
Mm.
Because
Yeah,
if
because
you don't, how can you really say that you're our ally? Diba?
oh yeah, so like what I get from that is like if you just tolerate them or you just respect the community, it doesn't mean that you're their ally, because if you just respect them, like what Chris said, it's like toleration and it's basic human decency. So it's like if you're their ally, you should really like help them in what they fight for also.
Yes.
Your question, Chris.
Yeah. So I don't know if we should bring this up, but you know about Taylor Swift, diba? Do you know that controversy? Like
No,
Oh, the Betty one, the
actually.
song, like the Betty song, is it?
the Betty song.
Oh,
We're all on different pages.
no, what is
No,
it?
no.
Chris, give us a background. Give us a background.
You know when she released this music video, it's you need to calm down. You need to calm down. It's this song.
Oh,
That
oh
song.
yeah. I was actually mad at myself
Mm,
because
why?
it's super. It looked performative. Like at least for me. No, never mind. We can't say
Wait,
that.
why? Why?
Oh, right.
I
Ooh.
mean,
Like
actually, it's just my
intonation.
personal. It's just our personal opinion. All I feel like
Yeah.
it's
We'll decide
something about
later.
it. Like it felt like pandering. Like for me, at least. Like not no hate to Taylor Swift. It just felt like pandering to me. It's I don't really
Like
like. I
she's
just it's nothing against her. I just felt like
yeah.
it was pandering. Like it could have been totally unintentional, or it couldn't have been her point at all. But it just felt like I was being pandered to. Like
Okay.
which
Mm,
but
I
like,
personally,
mm-hmm.
I
yes.
even though I can get that it does seem like really suspicious that she's like like for now kasi we're all like pro gay. Well, most of us. The world is now like changing, and
Do you mean like
hmm?
in just using like like the queer identity to like as a marketing tool?
No.
Oh no,
No,
sorry.
I mean
Oh.
like now she's an ally when it's like when we've already fought the fight. Do you get it?
Ah, so
Like,
Oh,
like
yeah, so
yeah.
like
we're
riding the bandwagon.
like it's
Ah,
Mm-mm.
already accepted to talk about it, and that's when she talks about it, which is yeah, it's kind of suspicious and stuff, but like also
Suspicious.
yeah,
like, cause
it's
I get your
it
point
sounds
naman,
like
Christine.
marketing, but yeah.
I get your point naman na parang it feels like that. Yeah, but kasi nga pero nga lang
Yeah, no. I think no. Wait. I think that's why people are mad. Like, I
ah
think that you were mad. Am I right?
oh no, just yeah,
Oh.
kind of na rin. Like I really like the fact na it was like I think it was co-produced by Todrick Hall, which is like a black queer artist, which is kind of
Mm,
like the only reason why I watched the video. It really
okay.
just felt like pandering to the LGBTQ community, at least for me. Who knows?
It
Maybe
feels
maybe nga it's not like that, but that's how I felt.
okay. But like
Okay.
in my opinion, it's just we don't know what her intentions are, and I don't think
Yeah,
we'll ever know.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I don't care to be like no. She's just pandering. She's using us for like, in an aggressive way. Like she's just using us for views. She's just bringing up this topic so that she can be more famous or something. Like I don't think that's fair, because maybe she just actually wants to, like I watched the
yeah,
documentary she made on Netflix, and like it says that she was always afraid of speaking out.
yeah,
And
yeah. There's that thing
as,
too.
yeah, as a person from a family who's kind of conservative a bit, yeah, I can totally see why she would be scared. Like seeing other people like being brought down like so much. Yeah, I think it's acceptable to be scared. So I think like we should at least like be not aggressive at the very least. Is that
Mm,
like I think that's an acceptable reaction.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
I
all.
guess it's even if it felt like pandering, I guess it's better than her releasing a music video against the community.
Yeah.
Much better.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I think that concludes our podcast for today. Thank you for those who made it this far. Thank you so much.
Okay. We hope that you enjoyed and got at least a little more insight on the topic.
Tune in next time for our first episode on the letter L. Like for lesbian, we'll have our guest and you'll meet her soon. And
Yes.
yeah,
So once again, this is the Alphabet Zoup podcast.
we don't just spill the tea.
But slurp the soup.
Oh God,
Don't
that's
have to know.
so. This podcast was brought to you by the Alphabet Zoup.
with our hosts Cole Sapiok, Bernice Ko, and Christine Cabangunay, our project manager Julian Reyes, our account manager Lyra Gloria, our creative committee Denise Ramos, Cole Sapiok, Bernice Ko, and Christine Cabangunay, and our researchers Gian Balo and Lander Estacion.